Tom Aspinall is set to defend the UFC interim heavyweight title against Curtis Blaydes in the co-main event at UFC 304 in Manchester. But here's the thing, why is it still for the interim title? Jon Jones is good to go, medically speaking, but he's still dodging Aspinall, and it's pretty obvious he's holding out for that fight with Stipe Miocic instead, because it's a good name for Jon Jones to beat, and it looks even better for Jon Jones' legacy. But if you ask me, it's pretty wild that the interim champ is defending the belt before the undisputed champ has ever made one title defense, despite being active. That's just nuts. Honestly, Jon Jones should be stripped of his belt at this point. I really think Tom Aspinall is the true champ because he's the one that's stepping up and actually defending his title against a real contender. Both guys originally won their belt from contenders, but Tom is actually proving his worth by defending his. Also, let's not forget, and let's be kind of real about this, Tom is taking the harder fight. Man, say what you will about Curtis Blaydes. Sometimes he's a hit or miss, but you cannot deny that he's more of a dangerous fight than Stipe at this point in his career. And I mean that with no disrespect to Stipe, it's just that he hasn't fought since 2021, he's 41, and he's just pretty much past his prime. He doesn't care about the title, he just wants to fight Jon Jones, and who knows if he will keep fighting after that fight. While Curtis Blaydes, on the other hand, has many miles left in his career, and he's improving, he's hungry to be a champion, and he probably could be the interim champion. Look, at the end of the day, Tom Aspinall is the one stepping up. He is defending the belt and facing the best competition, while Jones, on the other hand, is arguably taking the easier fight, and he doesn't want to unify the belts. And the funny thing is that Jon Jones does not need the title to sell pay-per-views, man. I would argue that he's bigger than the belt itself. And look, if Jones did vacate the title or if he was stripped of the belt, nobody would have any type of criticism for Jon Jones, because at that point, the heavyweight champion of the division can continue to defend the belt as a champion should. And then Jon Jones could take these money fights with Stipe or Alex Pereira. And to be honest, I think that will turn a lot of fans to look forward to see what Jon Jones does next. At the same time, Tom Aspinall can defend his belt as a champion should. And if you ask me, that would be a win-win situation. But instead, Jones is getting Dana White privileges, and it's kind of throwing the whole heavyweight division out of whack. So we're in a bit of a mess here. And here's a fun fact. Stipe's last win was before guys like Alex Pereira and Dricus du Plessis, Ilia Topuria, and Tom Aspinall and Shavkat Rakhmonov made their UFC debut. But that's enough of the Jones situation. Let's talk about the potential matchup between Tom Aspinall versus Curtis Blaydes. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, I do believe that Tom beats Curtis Blaydes just because Curtis's movement is too slow. And I'm not saying Curtis is necessarily a bad fighter. If anything, I think he's an elite fighter. Striking is decent. He was actually catching Pavlovich in the inside, and he's shown to have very good wrestling, and he's a very large dude. The thing is, even though Curtis has always had those skills, he always comes back to the same problem, which is him getting knocked out. And this goes back to his movement. He becomes very stationary. Like sometimes he just stops there. And look, you can't be doing that in the heavyweight division because you're going to get knocked out. And this has been a recurring theme in Curtis Blaydes' career. The dude got knocked out by Francis twice because of this. Same thing with Derek Lewis. And you would think by the time he fought Sergey, he would have learned his lesson. He was actually having some type of success on the feet. But at the end of the day, he ultimately still got knocked out, which is insane. And that's the thing. That's what's going to give him some serious problems when he faces Tom Aspinall. Tom Aspinall is not a normal heavyweight. The dude is as fast as the Flash. The dude moves like a welterweight. Curtis is going to have a very hard time timing the speed of Tom. Tom also has a lot of tools in his arsenal, like the calf kicks, consistently feinting and moving around and circling. When you put that all together, you kind of know how this fight is going to end. Curtis is ultimately going to drop the ball and get knocked out. There is no easier way to say that. It's the truth. Aspinall has made everyone look easy and hasn't even seen the third round, while Blaydes usually goes to decision to win. Aspinall is just that dude. He has quick striking and has never been taken down. And I'm just being real with you, I don't think Curtis is the man to beat Tom just because he has decent hands and good grappling. The dude's a plotter, man, and I think that's going to be his downfall like I mentioned earlier. I know some people are hoping and saying that Curtis will beat him again like in their first fight, but I just don't see it happening again. Unless Tom is injured, I just think Tom probably beats him everywhere, especially on the ground. Curtis looks like if he got taken down, he'd be like a turtle on its back. The more I think about it, I don't know how Curtis can win. So I've got to go with Tom winning by a first round TKO. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below if you agree with me or not. Please leave a like and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And like always, I'll see you guys on my next one.